You think you're calm because life is calm right now. But that's not calm. That's just the absence of chaos. True stillness is tested when your boss blames you unfairly, when someone lies to your face, when your partner walks away without a word. Can you still breathe slowly? Can you still act with clarity? Because when the storm comes, and it will, you'll either drown in panic or rise in presence. And that depends on one thing. Have you trained your mind before the storm hits? Part 1. Stillness isn't born in crisis. It's built in daily practice. People often wait for disaster to start learning calm, but you can't read about swimming when you're already drowning. Stillness isn't something you find in chaos. It's something you build before it arrives. The Stoics trained for this. They knew that pain, loss, and uncertainty are inevitable. So they prepared, not with panic, but with philosophy. They built mental armor before stepping onto the battlefield of life. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Strength isn't about suppressing emotion. It's about responding instead of reacting. It's breathing slowly when others scream. It's pausing before replying to a cruel message. It's showing up to life with poise, even when your heart is breaking. Imagine a firefighter who panics at the first spark. You'd call him untrained, but that's how most people live, waiting until the crisis to train calm. The Stoic doesn't do that. He prepares daily, with discipline, with awareness, with practice. Because when the storm comes, he doesn't drown. He floats. Part 2. Chaos is inevitable. Losing yourself is optional. Life will shake you. That's not a threat. It's a promise. A friend will disappoint you. A stranger will insult you. Plans will fall apart. And the worst part? You don't get to choose when. But you do get to choose this. How will you respond? The Stoics taught that we don't suffer because life is chaotic. We suffer because we expect it not to be. You can't stop the storm, but you can train your footing. You can't silence the world, but you can quiet your mind. Let's say you're in traffic. Someone cuts you off. You feel the fire rise in your chest. Most people react. They honk, curse, escalate. Why? Because they're trained to react. But you've trained to pause. You recognize the emotion, but you don't obey it. You ask, "Will this matter in an hour?" And you let it go. Stillness doesn't mean nothing bothers you. It means fewer things control you. You start to see setbacks not as insults, but as invitations to grow. You start to see angry people not as enemies, but as teachers of patience. And in that shift, from reaction to reflection, chaos begins to lose its power over you. You don't avoid life. You just stop letting it own you. Part 3. Stillness is strength, not surrender. Many people confuse stillness with weakness. They think if you don't fight back, you've lost. If you don't shout louder, you're soft. If you don't react, you're afraid. But stillness is not surrender. It's self-control under pressure. Epictetus once said, "No one can harm you without your consent. You may get insulted, but you don't have to take it personally. You may be overlooked, but you don't have to feel inferior." The Stoic doesn't suppress emotions, he disciplines them. He feels anger rise, but doesn't let it explode. He senses anxiety, but walks with it anyway. He notices insult, but doesn't feed it. Think about a time you exploded in anger. Did it help? Did it fix anything? Now imagine if you had paused, if you had taken one breath, if you had walked away with dignity. That's what stillness gives you. Not silence from fear, but silence from inner clarity. A calm person in chaos isn't passive. They're powerful. They don't need to shout to prove they're strong. Their peace is proof enough. When you can choose stillness while everything screams for reaction, you don't lose. You lead. Part 4. You don't need a mountain to be still, just a moment. Stillness isn't about escaping life. You don't need a mountain, you need a moment. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire. He faced wars, betrayals, and epidemics. Yet in his journal, he wrote of peace, presence, and poise. Nowhere is more peaceful than your own soul if you retreat into it. That's the Stoic secret. Peace doesn't require silence outside. It requires silence within. Anyone can feel calm in a quiet cabin. But can you stay centered when your phone won't stop buzzing? When deadlines loom, kids scream, and traffic blares? That's where true stillness lives. Try this. Next time you're overwhelmed, don't run from the noise. Pause, breathe, ask, where is the storm really happening? Outside or inside me? You'll find that most chaos is internal, and that means you have control. You don't need to fix the world to find peace. You just need to stop letting the world decide how you feel. Stillness isn't where you are. It's who you are when you stop being pulled in every direction. Part 5. Daily stillness. 3 simple practices that change everything. You don't need hours of meditation. You don't need to be a monk. You need small daily choices, practiced with intention, built with consistency. Here are 3 Stoic methods to train stillness. 1. Negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. Each morning, imagine setbacks. Someone might insult you. A project might fail. Traffic may test your patience. By rehearsing hardship, you're not being negative. You're building resilience. Nothing surprises the prepared mind. 2. The pause before the storm. When emotions flare, pause. Just 5 seconds. Between stimulus and response lies your freedom. Most regrets happen in that gap. Train yourself to expand it. 3. Evening journaling. Every night, ask, what triggered me today? Where did I react emotionally? What can I do better tomorrow? Stillness grows in reflection, not from perfection, but from progress. These aren't tricks. They're tools. Use them daily, and chaos starts to feel smaller. Not because the world changes, but because you do. Part 6. Stillness isn't hiding. It's leading from within. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs calm anchors. People who can stay grounded when everything trembles. That's what you become when you train stillness. Stillness isn't running away. It's returning to your center, your breath, your values. It doesn't mean you don't feel. It means you don't fall apart when you feel. The Stoics didn't teach stillness to avoid suffering. They taught it to lead others through it. Imagine this. In a room full of shouting voices, the calmest person doesn't just survive. They command attention. You can be that person, not by being perfect, but by being present. Every day you train stillness, you become a little less reactive, a little more resilient. And over time, you don't just handle storms, you become the shelter. Subscribe if you want more tools to master your inner world. Because while the world may stay chaotic, you don't have to.